Hello, everyone. So, let us discuss something about the special member functions today in C++. So, C++ guarantees certain special member functions which are automatically generated by the compiler. These are destructor, copy constructor, copy assignment operator, move constructor, and move assignment operator. Now, with these member functions, we have two rules. One is rule of three, the second is rule of five. So let us discuss these rules in details. So the first is the rule of three. It says that if a class defines any one of these three, then it should usually define all three. So if a class has either a destructor, a copy constructor, or a copy assignment operator, then it should consider defining all these three. What does it mean and why do we need it? This is because if your class has any one of these three, it means you are likely to be managing a resource. It can be a dynamic memory, it can be a file handling, or it can be a mutex or any kind of resource you might be using in your class. Only in that case, either of these three are required. And if you define either of these three, then you may require the other two as well. Let us just take an example and try to understand how. So, we'll take an example of a dynamic memory. Let us say your class has a pointer which keeps a track of a dynamic memory allocated variable. Now, you have created a destructor. So, if you create a destructor, then you will not get any move operator. That is the first thing that the compiler will guarantee. That if you have only defined a destructor, then you will not get a move constructor and a move assignment operator. Now, if you have defined a destructor, that is because you want to destruct your memory which has been dynamically allocated. Again, you also have to think of how the object is being copied. So, you would also require a copy constructor and a copy assignment operator. Otherwise, what compiler will provide you will go under shallow copy. And since you are having a dynamic memory allocated variable, so you may require a deep copy over there. So that's why the rule of three comes into picture that if you define any one of these three, then you usually require all these three. So define them. If you don't define them, then it may cause double delete, leak, or even dangling pointer issue. So there's an example which is similar to what we have discussed. The, the class A has a pointer P, and we are just trying to create a constructor over here which allocates a memory to the pointer P. Now, in the destructor, we delete the pointer P. But the problem here is when we try to copy an object into another one, then it goes under shallow copy. Then both the objects will be pointing to the same memory location. So that is not what we actually require. So what we do here is we have a destructor. Apart from that, we first create a copy constructor. So the copy constructor takes the value of the P pointer, which is there in the other object. It dereferences it, it passes it into a new end. So we are creating eventually a new memory location where the value of the pointer P is kept and it will be assigned to the new object. In the same way, we have the copy assignment operator, which will again create new memory location and it will set the value to the other dot P. And we are returning the reference. Now, what the rule of three tells you is if you need a custom destructor, then you probably need a copy behavior too. And the copy behavior includes both copy constructor and copy assignment operator. So I hope you would have understood what the rule of three actually means. Now let us come to rule of five. What does rule of five says? If a class defines any one of these five special members, then it shall usually define all five. If it has destructor, copy constructor, copy assignment operator, move constructor or move assignment operator, then you should consider defining all of them. Now, C++11 has introduced this move semantic. After that, we have included the move constructor and move assignment operator. So, if your class manages a resource, then you must define these operations, which is how it is copied, assigned, moved, or destroyed. Otherwise, what compiler guarantees it may be deleted or it may be unsafe. By unsafe, we again mean it can go into shallow copy or it can have some different behavior what we actually wanted. So let us take an example for this as well. Say we have a dynamic memory allocated variable in the class A or structure A, which is pointer P to an int. Now, I have a constructor which allocates a new memory to the pointer P and a destructor which deletes it. So, I would also require a copy constructor which copies the value of the P to a new memory location if we are trying to make use of a copy constructor. In the same way, the copy assignment operator will be used to copy the value and assign it to the new object pointer P. Here, since we have the move semantic as well, so we require the move constructor first, which is taking an R value in the argument, and it is also copying the other dot P to P, and then we are setting it to null. Since it is a move semantic, so you don't have to create a new memory location. You just have to take its ownership and set it to null. So in the same way, we have the move assignment operator, which again copies the pointer P and sets the temporary object's pointer P to null. So we are taking the ownership of that object. So this is how the rule of 5 behaves. So I hope you would have understood what is rule of 3 and what is rule of 5. Now there are certain rules that you should always remember and the interviewer also might ask you. So these rules are, if you have only defined a destructor in your class, then you will get, or the compiler will provide you the copy operators or the copy functionality. But the move functionality will be disabled. You will not get any move functionality. If you define a copy constructor, then the copy assignment operator may be deleted or may not be. It depends on the data type that your class is holding. Say if your class has a unique pointer, then compiler cannot provide one. Or if your class has a constant member or a reference member, in that case as well, the compiler will not be able to provide you the copy assignment operator. Now, if you have a copy constructor and a destructor both, then in that case, the move will be disabled, which is the same case as the destructor. Since you have the destructor, the move assignment operator and the move constructor will be disabled. Compiler will not provide you. If you have a move constructor only, then the copy operation will be deleted. Copy operation you have to define on your own in your class. So these are certain basic rules that you have to always remember while you're creating a class which handles some kind of resources. Now there is a rule of zero. If a class does not manage any resource directly, it should define zero special member functions. Let the compiler generate all of them for you. So it basically means if you are not using any of the special member functions, don't define it. Let the compiler handle it underneath. So these rules are basically the best practices that you can follow during coding. So I hope you like this video. Do like and subscribe. Thank you.